any withdrawn application for permanent residence is going to result in a notice to appear in immigration court unless you are otherwise lawfully present in the United States. So this makes the stakes higher for applying for any immigration benefit. Hey guys, one of my clients recently had a bit of an unfortunate situation, and it really drives home the point that any application for permanent residence that is withdrawn or denied is going to result in a notice to appear in immigration court if you are not, aside from that adjustment of status application, in lawful immigration status. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened, but let me first explain what I mean by this. Let's say you're in the US and you overstayed your tourist visa, and then you apply for a marriage-based green card. And if something happens along the way and you withdraw that application or it gets denied, you're likely to find yourself in deportation proceedings a few weeks or months later. Alternatively, let's say you're in the US on an H-1B visa, which is a dual intent visa. It allows you to have immigrant and non-immigrant intent simultaneously. If you don't know what that means, check out my other videos on immigrant and non-immigrant or fraudulent intent. So while you're on your H-1B visa, you marry a US citizen and you apply for adjustment of status. Importantly, while you do this, you maintain your H-1B status. So you remain with the same employer or you otherwise follow all the rules and regulations. Now, if your adjustment of status application through your marriage is denied, you will not be placed in removal proceedings because you are not otherwise out of status. So what happened to my client was that he was out of status. He had overstayed a tourist visa, and then he applied for marriage-based adjustment of status through his US citizen spouse. But before the interview, they had major marital problems. And to make a long story short, the US citizen spouse said, there's no way I'm showing up to a USCIS interview. They separated. They're still legally married, but separated. Then the client, tells his lawyer, who was not me at that time, that he cannot proceed with the marriage-based adjustment of status and he wishes to withdraw his application. So the attorney submits a letter to USCIS asking to withdraw the I-485 application. USCIS sends an acknowledgement letter saying we acknowledge it and we have allowed you to withdraw your I-485 application. And then exactly 6 weeks later, the client received a notice to appear in immigration court and then consulted with me to defend him in removal proceedings. That's the whole story. I just want to reiterate that any withdrawn application for permanent residence is going to result in a notice to appear in immigration court unless you are otherwise lawfully present in the United States. So this makes the stakes higher for applying for any immigration benefit. If your marriage is on the rocks, you're not sure 6 months or a year from now if you guys are even going to be together, you might want to think twice about filing a marriage-based adjustment of status, because if the marriage breaks down or your spouse decides not to show up to the interview, you might end up in a worse situation than had you done nothing at all. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this quick video on this topic, not here to scare anybody, just to, inject a dose of reality into people who are in la land about how serious the risks are right now when you apply for immigration benefits. If you want to stay up to date and hear more stories about what's happening in immigration world on the ground from the perspective of an immigration lawyer, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you need any assistance with any family-based immigration matter, naturalization, or deportation defense, be sure to schedule a consultation directly with me, Pouyan Darian. I handle these cases nationwide. You can find my contact information to schedule a direct consultation in the video description below, or you can go to darianlaw.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.